Hello, I am here at the Arlington Police Station, ready to talk to our Police Chief, Frederick Ryan. He recently was invited to participate in a panel discussion in the U.S. Senate to talk about, in this particular case, the opioid addiction, the approach to opioid addiction here in our community. Chief Ryan, as always, a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for taking the time. So, first of all, did you get a sense at any point in the process about why it was that it was you and not another chief of police?
They were really interested in that a law enforcement agency had shifted its philosophical approach to the addiction crisis from all enforcement to treatment and prevention. And so this sort of spectrum, and clearly we've really redirected a lot of our resources on the demand side of this equation, and they really wanted to hear about that. You know, once you put somebody suffering from a substance disorder into the criminal justice system, you're adding a whole series of complex governmental steps that somebody who's already in crisis now is in this complex criminal justice system, and you can't reverse that. And we found that, you know, diverting pre-arrest into treatment and developing a treatment intervention plan with each individual has had a positive impact. As a community, we've got to create a trusting environment and a supportive environment for people who have a family member who's suffering, so that, you know, the village can support that person and their loved ones in the recovery process. And I think that's incredibly important that people, you see, because detox occurs in you know, a private setting, oftentimes a healthcare setting. Long-term recovery occurs in the community. And we as a community need to embrace people who are trying to stay in long-term recovery. And we try to really get that message out in the community. There's no better community than Arlington to engage in community policing activities and the philosophy of community policing. We've got an engaged community. And we heard loud and clear from our community that they don't want criminalizing of addiction. And they want a more empathetic approach to policing. And it's a team. And, you know, we're very proud of the fact that we've driven down deaths in our community. We're going to continue to do so, but there's a lot of work to be done. And, you know, we're dealing with the proximate cause of the problem now. We're driving down deaths. We want to move into the root cause of the problem, and helping people address opiate addiction and get into long-term recovery. Our voices are being heard at the highest levels of government in America. We're changing the conversation. You know, we got to stop criminalizing addiction. You know, it is what it is. It's a public health challenge. It's a disease, and you know, we've seen it right here in Arlington, where we arrest somebody suffering from addiction, we bring them to court, they're back on the street 4 hours later, doing the same thing they were before we arrested them. No change. And that revolving door at the courthouse is not good policy.
From Arlington's police station, after another informative conversation with our chief, Frederick Ryan, this is James Milan for Arlington Public News and for ACMi. Thanks for joining us.